from Spotify.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of a nice feature, honestly. Like
it kind of is, but not really for this.
Well, yeah,
Dude,
for this, it's not ideal.
I realized my Spotify Wrapped, if I keep up my listening patterns that I've done in the month of January, my Spotify Wrapped is going to be all over the fucking place. All I have listened to is My Morning Jacket, Grateful Dead, and house music. Those are the only 3 things I have listened to.
That's the most January list of music I've ever heard, probably.
I've
Just
listened
to the month.
like maybe 3 Eminem songs. That's like the only hip hop I've listened to. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm not in a normal space right now.
Man, I'm so excited that you love My Morning Jacket. I'm not going to pretend like My Morning Jacket's like one of my favorite bands, but I do really like them.
So fucking good, dude.
They're
so
amazing.
Good. What have you guys been up to, Christian? I was gonna say we missed you, but we did the Anthony episode after the duo episode, huh?
Yeah,
Man,
my brother was in town. I took him up to Frisco, and we partied a little bit, and they've just been skiing. And then I went and hit, what show did I hit? Saturday. Oh, McMahon.
Oh, nice.
It was like McMahon and who opened? Schmoop and this other dude, Uga. It was tight. They just, man, I don't know if it's just because of what happened with everything with COVID, but they are fucking packing out these tiny venues where you have no room. It's not enjoyable. Like it got to the point where we were kind of in the middle, and then that got too packed. We get to the back a little bit. It's just you're crunched, and the next thing you know, I pretty much could have been serving drinks. I should have hopped behind the bar and started physically serving drinks to people.
Yeah, when I went to STS9 at Fillmore, the first night we got there early as shit, so we were like way the fuck up front, like almost on the rail. So I didn't feel it like that much, but we turned around and looked, and the place looked slammed. And then the second night we were further back. We were right next to like one of the bars, like in the stage, like in the crowd area. Dude, it was so fucking packed. And I turned around to leave to go to the bathroom, and the guy behind me was like, "You're not making it back, bro." I was like, "Trust me, man, I'm making it back." And I left, went to the bathroom, came back. I just like had my arms up and was holding 2 beers, and he was like, "Holy fuck, you made it."
Wait, was he saying like that you couldn't make it back, or that he wouldn't let you back into the spot?
That I wasn't going to be able to make it back because it was so crowded.
I just want to point out this text I got from Christian at 2:56 a.m. on Sunday. Lights out set with McMahon.
Nice.
So you obviously enjoyed the show a little bit.
That was 12 here, so let's not get crazy. It's not I was out fucking throwing down.
That's true.
Yeah. But it was still sick. Like, I had a good time. It's a little ridiculous how they're selling these out, like, over capacity. It's not enjoyable.
They're trying to make some money back, 100%.
Yeah. Money back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're your hosts, Blake, Christian, and Trey, and this is Totally Biased Music. We're back, the core trio. We had guest, 2-person episode guest, so now we're back to the squad. So we're going to bring our A game today. Trey told me that he has great Twitter takes prepared, so high hopes for that. Today we're talking Morning View by Incubus. So brief Apple Music intro. As soon as California polyglots Incubus achieved mainstream success in the late 90s, frontman Brandon Boyd and guitarist Mike Enzinger? I don't know how to say his last name. Set out to differentiate the band. For 2001's Morning View, Enzinger wrote riff pack songs, quote, "Have You Ever," in circles, that are familiarly heavy and cathartic, yet surprisingly melodically nimble, while Boyd's introspective lyrics and pensive crooning provide a template for empathetic headbanging. So that is kind of a good way to sum it up, I think. I mean, depending on how you guys like the album. So, Christian, you picked the album. We're picking albums now 1 week at a time. Why did you pick the album?
This was just always something that was just kind of nostalgic for me. I think I was like 10 when this came out, and it was one of the first things that my dad would always show me music. But this is one of those moments that I distinctly remember him putting on Aqueous Transmission, and it being the first time, I'd heard, rock music or grunge at the time, but this was extremely different in terms of the types of production, the types of sound that I had heard with like heavy Japanese influence, electronic with like this like rap alternative grunge, these like heavy journey kind of feeling songs. And so it's always just like held a special place. And then as far as how it's aged for me, it's just something that I consistently go back to.
Nice. Trey, what's your experience with Incubus?
You know, I don't have all that much experience with Incubus. I've always really kind of enjoyed them from afar. But this album and then the other record that they have, and then the record they have that Skrillex actually produced, I think it's called 8 or Infinity. Mm-hmm. It's like the 8 sideways. I'm not really sure. I've always really enjoyed them. I enjoyed getting to kind of do a real deep dive on this record, and like actually listen to it a little bit more critically instead of just like passing. Fantastic selection, Christian. There's some real gems on this album. Not like, I mean, the hits on this album are fantastic. Like RUN is really good. Nice to Know You is kind of like a banger. Wish You Were Here is good. But once you kind of dive a little bit deeper in the album, there's some really, really fantastic tunes and some really great bass lines. The bass lines on this album really stand out a lot.
I think this was like the last that they had with that long-standing bassist before they moved on to somebody else. Maybe I'm wrong here. Alex Katunich or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this fucking... I was going back through because you kind of go back to the same songs over and over. But fucking through and through, this is pretty phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to a ton of Incubus. Like, every Incubus song I've listened to is probably an Incubus song that everybody else has listened to. I do remember that really depressing song on Make Yourself where, Trey, do you know what song I'm talking about, where he's talking about, like, killing himself or his wife or something like that, or he talks about blowing his head off or something. I don't remember what song it is.
I don't
Make
remember
Yourself.
that off the top of my head.
There's a song where he talks about like basically killing himself, but the first time I heard it was the instrumental version of it on a longboard video, and I remember being like, "Oh man, this is really good." And then I went and listened to the actual song, and I was like, "This is really fucked up, actually." So all of my Incubus experiences have been very generic. So this is the first time I sat down with an Incubus album and actually went all the way through it. So yeah, it was very interesting. It was a different ride. I don't think I really knew the type of band that Incubus was until listening to this album. So it was kind of a good introduction. I need to go back and listen to that album that Drive is on. I guess that's their first one, right? Yeah,
I think that's Pardon Me.
I think that's Make Yourself.
Make Yourself? Is it? Nice.
Yeah.
I do remember too, like being younger and with their name being that like what? It's like some demon that like lays with women while they're asleep. It was just because back then, like you're kind of randomly going to church. And so like that's a thing where you're like, this is naughty. You know, you felt like it was kind of bad because it's like, oh, Incubus, like this is a demon who rapes girls.
Like, oh, I'm so hard. Oh, my parents don't find out.
And that's when your parents should have checked you into therapy in that exact moment.
Yeah, right then. Okay, then let's get into it, Christian. What are your top tracks on it?
Oh man, this was hard. Most of them are just like from a nostalgia perspective, but. Number one, I've got Just a Phase. It's one of those songs that I think I'll always go back to when I'm just like dealing with something or whatever, where it's just this kind of like loop, that kind of soft drop that they do on the first half of it, where it just like goes soft into it. And then the second is where it kind of like really picks up. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. And then I've got Blood on the Ground, which my dad used to just like blast before we would go. It's like fucking Little League baseball practice, like hype me up. But it's literally just about how like he was dating this fucking girl that he hated, and he, instead of like actually getting a fight with her, he just bite his tongue so he'd have blood on his mouth instead of blood on the ground. And
nice.
The lyricism in it's fucking killer. And then number 3, Aqua's Transmission. And I've got like honorable mention, Echo, 11 a.m. and RUN.
Cool. Very, very fair. Trey, what about you?
Man, we are pretty aligned once again. So I think a lot of these songs, like, they could be construed as like romantic songs, and I think, or breakup songs or whatever. And I think a lot of them are also like kind of tapping into like existentialism, like Blood on the Ground. I think even like some of the lyrics, and that's my number one song on this album. Like some of the lyrics kind of, I don't know, it's almost like his place in the world he's like fighting against, I kind of felt like, and was like using like a relationship to kind of relate that a little bit easier. So like the lyrics like, because something inside of me has said more than twice that breathing less air beats breathing you in, which I think like might be like a little like suicidal type situation. Or he just really hates that chick. One of the two.
Yeah, he says seeing you is like pulling teeth, and hearing your voice is like chewing tin foil. Like, bro, who was this chick?
I don't know, man. I've never heard him do that much.
Man? Was this Darian Morris? What the fuck?
Dude, come on.
Okay.
We gotta cut that.
Oh, he said it. He said the thing.
My second track is Echo. The drum shuffle that is throughout that song sounds like a jazz drummer who has just done way too much cocaine. Like, and it's all over the place. It's super, super sick. And then 3's RUN. I think that song is just beautiful. It has this weird, like almost like a dancey anthem thing going on. You have the scratching, like the tasteful scratching over rock music, which is not the easiest thing to pull off. And then I put like above honorable mention, almost just like a whole separate thing is I call it aqueous transmission, but however you pronounce it earlier works too, I guess. But that's just because the band Aqueous. Anyway, that song is like a whole other trip. It's like it's really, really good. It's like psychedelia before like overhanded psychedelia was a thing. So I really like that song.
Nice.
So
it's pronounced acquiesce. You guys are both wrong. But yeah, cool.
That's a different word.
I think it's that word. I'm pretty sure.
Whatever. Later on, aqueous transmission all over your face.
Okay. My top tracks, number 1, Nice to Know. I think it's a great intro track. I like that it has a classic, what I would assume is a classic Incubus sound based on like what I know is Incubus. But it is kind of like a weird grungy sound. Like it's weird. There was a review on this album and they called them a metal band, which I thought was really fucking strange. They called them like new metal or something like that. But
yeah, they're listed as like alt metal.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Maybe I'm not.
If you go back in their discography, it's a lot of their stuff is, I think, a little heavier handed than what this is. And when they kind of had their first release, it moves in this direction. Whereas like, I think you'll read on some of the reviews where they kind of talk like that it's moving in a direction they didn't like. Cause it's like, where's that hard handed,
it's a similar trajectory of Red Hot Chili Peppers, honestly.
That's a fair comparison.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nice to Know. It kind of has like this grungy sound to it. That I guess would be kind of like a soft metal almost if you were going into kind of like the early 2000s. I think that's kind of when they made that shift. 11 a.m. Classic sad boy breakup vibes with 11 a.m. I mean, I thought that we would all love 11 a.m. It's just very much being the sad boys that we are. It's just that's all I could think about the whole song was like they're gonna love this song. It just really hits kind of where I like Incubus, which brings me into my third one, Mexico. So I started to realize when listening to this album, I really like, I don't say this for a lot of bands or really probably any bands, but I really like slow Incubus. I like when they slow it down. I like when they go acoustic. I think it kind of emphasizes his voice and the better parts of his vocals so much better when they do these types of slow songs that I don't really hear to the point that I enjoy as much when they play heavier shit. So in terms of Incubus, like I just like when they slow stuff down. And Mexico is just like that, a good version of like a slow acoustic Incubus song that I really enjoyed. So that's what I would give my top 3. And then Aqueous Transmission, probably honorable mention as well.
Oh yeah,
I think you probably like it because it doesn't sound like Nirvana, but it sounds like slow Nirvana. Like it sounds like some of the unplugged songs that Nirvana did. And I
Yeah.
think
It really
it's kind
does.
of in that same realm. I mean, his voice is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he has a very distinct. It's so funny. I used to say this just about Kurt. Like, Kurt's voice is so recognizable and iconic, and then I realized like Eddie Vedder's voice is like that, and Chris Cornell's voice is like that, and Incubus's lead singer is like that too, where they have just such a unique sound that you can kind of tell instantly when they start to sing who it is and what band it is. So I think that's really cool. All right, let's transition into bottom tracks. Christian, you can lead us off.
I don't really have any that I just like really, really hated, but for just bottom, my first one is Mexico.
God fucking damn it,
I'm
dude.
sorry. It's just so gay. It's just so fucking gay. At the end of like every little chorus where he's like, I don't know,
I hate you so much.
He's like, on the first train to Mexico. Oh, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Christian, you do know what you post on the internet about how in love with you are like every other day, right?
Yeah, true. Honestly,
Like,
this is
bro,
right
come
up your
on.
alley.
This
Like,
is so you.
Listen, it ain't it. And it's just not for me.
You're not tough.
Moving on. I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not. I'm soft as Charmin. It's bad.
you've been projecting on Trey so harshly. You've been calling him Charmin soft, but really you can tell that it's creeping up on you. So you're
Yeah,
trying.
that's the whole basis of our friendship.
You're just an accelerated version of Christian, and it's scaring him.
No, he's an accelerated version of me, and he just tries to flip it.
Yeah. No one will ever know until they listen to this podcast. Number 2, Under My Umbrella. And number 3 is Warning. It's just annoying. It's just so fucking annoying. That's it.
It's annoying. That's it, man.
It's just fucking annoying. Like calling out a warning. I'm just shut the fuck up. It's just.
See, I love the
ain't it.
intro to that track. Like,
Oh my god.
What's so wrong with? Yeah. It's a little pop punk vibe in there. All
Let
right,
your eyes, girl, be otherworldly.
That's what I'm saying.
Seduce a straight. Oh, you like this because it sounds like Blink 182. I just. Oh my god.
Exactly. I know who I
I
am.
was just about to say that. It sounds just like Blink 182, dude.
Fucking
I know
Christ!
who
I
I
just
am.
sang
I know
it, and
who
I
I
was
am.
like, "Oh, okay, this makes sense."
That's so funny. Okay, Trey, what do you got?
All right. So Under My Umbrella, Ella Ella is my my number one worst song, mainly so I could make that joke, but also I just think it's not very good. From there, really, like, there's not that many that I would necessarily pick. Have You Ever is not terribly enjoyable. It's a little like kind of off-putting. Like the drums are kind of weird. The guitar riff isn't terribly catchy. And then Just a Phase. And the only reason I don't like Just a Phase is because I feel like it's a song that if I did like, y'all would use it to make fun of me. And so therefore, I'm just proactively saying that I don't like that song.
That's probably smart. It's good to get ahead.
Protecting
Never
myself.
phase, Mom. It's a lifestyle.
You know, come to find out, it wasn't just a phase. It was a lifestyle. Because here we are,
really
30
wasn't.
years old.
Okay, y'all
What
are
about
gonna
you?
y'all are gonna be so upset about this. Bottom tracks, Echo. The same reason I dislike it is the same reason Trey likes it. I hate the track feels disjointed as fuck with that drum line throughout it. It really throws me off, and it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like they're heavier, faster paced songs are just like, he gets kind of scream whiny for me, and it's just like, all right, man, like whatever. Are You In? Can't stand the fucking high pitch, ooh, woo, or whatever the fuck he does at like the end of each verse. I hate that shit, man. It takes me out of it, and it sounds, as Trey would put it, it sounds so anthem-y. It's like, I don't even know how to fucking explain it. I just remember distinctly writing down the high pitch, ooh, shit kills this song for me, because it does. And then
I love that song.
Circles. I don't love Circles. I don't feel as strongly about Circles as I do with Echo and RUN. But again, the track just kind of feels all over the fucking place for me. So it's not. I don't know. Like I said, I learned listening to this that I'm a slow Incubus kind of guy, man. I just, slow it down a little bit. Let's cry. Let's have some sad boy acoustic shit. Let's just do some knockoff Nirvana Unplugged and let me enjoy that,
Slow dancing in a burning room.
Yeah. Exactly.
when are we doing Room for Squares on this pod?
That's why I like Dead and Co. better than I like Grateful Dead, because I just want to hear
please don't say that in public ever again.
Obviously, I'm trolling. Don't tell the fucking trust fund fish kids that I said that, or else they'll come for me in this podcast.
They will find you and cut your feet off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cut your feet off.
I don't know why that seemed like a thing that they would do.
I'm gonna start using that. Anytime someone says something that I don't like, I'm like, shut the fuck up or I'm gonna cut your feet off.
Well, there's that Fish lyric of whatever you do, take care of your shoes, so I think that's how they get revenge on people. They just cut their feet off so they can't have shoes anymore.
Jesus.
I made some comment about I don't know. I was with Jordan and his wife, and I made some comment about like some band that Jordan listens to, and his wife Louise goes, Kurt Cobain wasn't a good guitar player, and Trey Anastasio is not a good singer. I was like, honestly, that's a fair assessment.
Wait, was she like sticking up for Jordan? Or?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so I want to talk real quick. The only review I could find of Morning View was Rolling Stone, and this was out in 2001. So it was right as the album came out. They gave it 2.5 stars out of. Look at my face, Jesus Christ! I look like a fucking ghost when I pull up something that's white on here.
Yeah, you got lit up there.
I'm haunting this house. Okay, they gave it a 2.5 out of 5. They say, for a new metal band competing in a field of alpha males with pierced, sloping brows, the supple, even delicate Incubus have an awful lot of yin in their yang. Unlike Stained, who required a suspension of disbelief that they are essentially macho crybabies, and Crazy Town, who probably tinge their mook hop with Orientalism so they can score with Asian strippers, the coolest thing about Incubus is the way they come from front and center with their inner little girl. They've got the tender lyrics, the non-linear arrangements, melodies you can soak in, and neck-breaker riffs alternating with swaying metallic grooves that somehow say, love me, okay? A textbook example, Blood on the Ground, which rips and swells and climaxes with a totally rad drum fill. But singer Brandon Boyd's words stop short of violent imagery and treat anger as an inner journey, like an entry into his diary. So what do you guys think of that? You think that's accurate?
I'm confused. Do they like the album? Do they hate the album? I know they hate Stained. I know they really don't like Stained.
They don't like Stained, and they don't like Crazy Town at all, man. I don't know. I mean, 2.5. That's kind of probably the point of the article, right? Like, it's 2.5 stars, so it's kind of like here and there at the same time,
I feel as if where was that review from?
It was Rolling Stone.
Okay, I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah.
Don't use that. Don't use that raising at the end of the sentence tone with me.
I mean, I fucking said it at the beginning. Are you pulling a Christian and not listening to a word I fucking say?
No, I was just so entranced with the poetic nature of like what they were saying that I forgot.
It was pretty poetic. I'm going to give them that. I don't want to, but I'm going to give them that.
I don't want to rate this album first. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know. I don't listen to Stained or Crazy Town, and I don't listen to quote-unquote new metal from the early 2000s, so I don't have much to say about it. But you're right. They're kind of taking a not real stance on this album, which is pretty typical for them. Christian, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I was just reading back through it, just trying to figure out exactly what they're saying. I actually think they're right. I mean, I feel like at the time it was this like weird metal, like Stained and all that kind of shit that was just fucking, in my opinion, garbage. Just dirty, brown, like white, racist, water, trash music. And this comes along, and like from a production standpoint, what they were doing was significantly different, with odes to just like, hard riffs and what rock music was at the time, but lyrically completely different. So it's like, I mean, I think what they're saying is true. I like it compared to obviously Stained and Crazy Town. I don't know if that's saying anything though.
Yeah, it's kind of like Stained and Crazy Town. It sounds like music that like people from like Daytona, Florida would be really into. Whereas
Immediately.
yeah,
It was like 95%. It's just like electronic music. 95% of the genre is absolute dog shit, but that 5% that's really good is really fucking good.
yeah, that's
You
fair.
know?
That's
Stained,
fair.
Crazy Town, also insurrection theme music. we
Absolutely.
gotta keep up with this because that's
We should have a new segment, an insurrection song every podcast.
like if you're walking down the street and you see a guy that has a Stained t-shirt on, run.
Or better yet, you find he's wearing a Stained t-shirt in his Tinder profile, then you know it's a left swipe immediately.
No, that's a right swipe immediately. You gotta like trick that guy into taking his money somehow.
Trey's like, we look over, Trey's like ferociously editing his Tinder pictures.
Just photoshopping Stained pictures.
Okay, Christian, you can lead us off. What do you rate it?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
That's
High
fair.
praise from Christian Hicks.
That is pretty high praise. Trey, what about you?
Yep.
I am going to give it a 7. I think it's really, really good, but I don't think it's really above that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I was close
it's-
to 7.
It's still in the genre that it is. It's nothing groundbreaking. Very enjoyable music. Very enjoyable.
The nostalgia
music.
factor, I think, bumped it up a notch for me, but I'm with you there.
I
Yeah.
feel like, Trey, you have like a weird thing with like rock music where like you don't really like it. Like you
That's
like
not true in the slightest.
like you like whiny like Blink-182 stuff, but when it comes to like every time we talk about like bands like this, like Incubus or Nirvana or whatever it may be, you're kind of just always like, it's there, it's good, but it's not great.
There's a certain threshold of heavy sound that I don't enjoy personally. I will definitely admit that. Like, I don't like heavy metal. I don't, the heaviest metal that I'm going to listen to is like math rock.
So like, okay,
So like not.
is Metallica
So, like, not.
is Metallica too hard for you?
I don't enjoy Metallica in the slightest.
Damn, really?
Not at all. Not at all. I just don't like it. I just don't like that guitar tone. There's a certain guitar tone that I just
Too
don't enjoy
scary
it.
for
And,
you.
yeah, I get scared. I'm very easily scared.
Startled.
Don't
man.
bully me, I'll come.
Believe me, I'll go.
That's what Trey listens to right after he's done edging himself, just to push him over the limit.
That's why Trey can't listen to Metallica in the car because he's riding around half chubbed the whole time.
Just get scared. I just get scared.
Just get
whatever.
scared.
That's fair.
Fear boner. It's a fear boner.
But
Yeah.
but Incubus is a band that like balances that really well. Or like even Nirvana, like Kurt's voice is. I mean, he screams, but he doesn't scream like guttural scream.
Yeah, he
So I
screams.
enjoy
it's like
those.
it's like a I'm hurting inside scream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why
he
you
was
said it
hurt.
like that, but yeah.
He was hurting inside. I'm pretty sure that's an
Oh
undeniable fact.
man, he was hurt inside. R.I.P.
Up until a certain point, then he was hurting on the outside.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I was listening to Clout Cobain by Denzel Curry, and I totally forgot that the chorus of that song is "Suicidal thoughts call me Kurt Cobain." I was just like, "Oh, word." It's a little fucking much.
Who told him that was a good hook?
It is actually a good hook though. It's kind of catchy, and I can say that because I'm a Nirvana stan. So it's okay for
Okay.
me to say it. You two, you're not allowed to say that.
Okay, noted.
All right.
I'm gonna give it a 6. It's I mean, it's good. It's average to me. It's average to me. I need more time with it. I need more time with Incubus as a whole. Nothing I actively like hate about it. So that's good. And there are some tracks that I really like. Slow Incubus just really does it for me, man. Really makes me want to pick up the old guitar and just start strumming away,
You should listen to the new album. The new album that Skrillex produced is really good, and it's like got a lot of slow Incubus on there.
I would be really into that, actually. First off, the album is definitely 8, and the 8 is not sideways on the cover, so I don't know where the
It's
hell you
not
got that
sideways.
from.
Maybe it's
not
sideways on the back cover. I don't know. Man, I got it right the first time. Whatever. Get off my back. I'm trying here.
Okay. Any final thoughts on the album, on Incubus? Anything of that nature you guys want to talk about?
In School of Rock, how there's
I was just talking about that movie.
The band, there's like the Battle of the Bands, and then the guy's like wearing like a no chest and then like just leather sleeves thing. So like it's just the leather sleeves.
Oh yeah.
The guitarist from Incubus wore that in a video. And I just wanted to point that out because when I first saw that in School of Rock, I was like, who the fuck would ever actually wear that? And then it's an actual thing. He did that one time.
Fuck, that's so funny. My favorite, the scene that I was thinking of from that movie we were talking about the other night is when he's like, all right, I'm hungover. Who knows what that means? And somebody's like, it means you're drunk. And somebody goes, it means you were drunk. It's Wednesday. You're an alcoholic, dude. Oh, man. Okay. Sorry. That was Morning View by Incubus. Give it a listen if you'd like. Should we say next album now? Let's say next album we're going to do next week. Because people don't stick around for the end of podcasts. They don't have the attention span for that.
No, they don't care about Trey's Twitter takes. We say it's the best segment. Really, we know it's just like time to wind it down. Let's go home. So.
I'm throwing a curveball here. Sorry, Trey. We're going to do Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent. Just because I was going to listen. I was going to do My Morning Jacket. I'm really into My Morning Jacket phase right now. They're like all I'm listening to, okay? But I'm working my way all the way through their discography, one album at a time. So I want to pick my favorite and then go with it, all right? And I still have like 4 albums to go.
Blake's trying really hard to let us know that he's a ring guy now. He keeps touching his face and holding his hand up.
First off,
he's like, guys, we should do video. We should do video, guys.
I always play with my mustache. First off, I always play with my mustache, so don't even say that. But I am a ring guy. What?
I want to go back to this. You asked us what we wanted to do. We essentially voted, and then you're going to go against our vote.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
Stop the steal.
Christian didn't put in a vote. Christian did not put in a vote. You said My Morning Jacket, okay? So really, I didn't have a vote. Christian didn't say anything, and you voted. So
you just went against my vote, basically.
Yeah.
Wait, whose pick is it?
It's mine.
It was Blake's pick, but
so he picks whatever he wants to do. He can veto anything.
Yep. All right. All right. If that's the game, if that's the game you guys want to play, and you pick whatever.
Listen, we pick 3, but if y'all pick the last one that I've kind of wanted to do, then it's like, okay, then no, I veto that. We do what I want to do.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, I hope you guys are listening.
He's already chefing up fucking shitty albums to pick, man.
Yeah, he's just taking this personally, and now he's gonna be like fucking Barney soundtrack, fucking
Oh no!
Fish and Pine Grove.
No!
He's gonna make us review Blink 182 or some bullshit.
I swear to fucking God.
Oh no! It's gonna be so much worse than that. It's gonna be so much worse than you could ever imagine.
I'm calling the audible.
It's your choice. It's your choice. Then you're the one that's gonna look like a fucking moron.
Yeah, true.
That's fair,
I'm calling the audible. We're doing Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent. All right, we'll just put it on record now.
All right.
Okay. So now let's move on to Rides or Dies, and we're going to try something new here, folks. Hang on a second while I try to figure this out. So we think if we do this properly, you can hear the songs as we talk about them. So I will start it off, and my song was All Bad by JID. Just a very nice melodic JID song. He kind of a little jazzy aspect to it. There's a female singer, Mariba, on it, I think is how you say it. Probably not. But yeah, it's just a nice like departure from JID's normal kind of heavy rap shit, and I just love the sound of it. So what do you guys think of it?
Christian, you go first.
I love this song and I love this album, but like you sent it to me when you kind of like first got onto it or whatever, and we're just like going back through that album, and it made me go back into it, and it's fucking phenomenal. Absolutely amazing album. This song's great. It rides.
Fuck yeah. Trey?
The song absolutely rides. This whole album rides. JID forever. This is probably one of the top 3 tracks on the album. After you sent this, I gave it a good solid re-listen, maybe even twice through. I'm not really sure. Her vocals come in at like the perfect time. She balances them out really well. The beat's tight. You can turn it up a little bit. Yeah, run it.
Yeah, this right here. Oh yeah, that's the good shit right there. Yeah, she kills it.
I'll have to run a little double feature review: the Never Story and the Forever Story.
That would be tight. Damn, Christian's got ideas. Okay, moving on. We have Christian's song. Christian, go ahead.
So I will start this off by just initially saying that I do not support G. Jones. I do not recommend him to anyone ever at any moment in their lives. I don't care what they're going through. But EPROM has had his hands in fucking everything recently. He's been doing stuff as Shades with Alex Perez, and they just put out this edit by Corliss called Shell Shock. And so it's Corliss did the original. It's G. Jones and EPROM. And it's this weird acid fucking, I don't even know. But the sound design on it's really great. It's like garagey as fuck.
Yep.
You skip like a little halfway.
Yeah, I would skip halfway through it.
Yeah,
the song's all over the place.
It is a little.
It's a little weird, and I really like it. And I'm not a huge fan of G. Jones. I'm not a huge fan of EPROM, but maybe EPROM's just hot right now. Maybe he's finally figured out his formula of like weird sound design, but like, I don't know, putting in a good context for a song, because I really enjoyed this and the Shade stuff that you sent.
Yeah, I think like for his live stuff I've seen, it is just a lot, and it's really not great to listen to. Like a lot of that kind, in my opinion, it's a little overwhelming. But occasionally there's just like great sound design. It's not like so overwhelmingly heavy with the sound design. Sometimes it gets so crazy. I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing? You're pressing buttons. This makes no goddamn sense. But he's been putting some shit out that like I'm digging.
Nice. So Trey, are you giving it a ride?
I'm giving it a ride.
Okay. Obviously this is a dive for me. I mean, you guys should know that. I fucking hate G. Jones. I hate everything he does. He's a horrible artist. I hate his visuals. I hate his shows. I hate his I hate his beep boop bop beep boop shit on every song he does. I fucking hate him. I hate everything about him. So this is not even a question for me that this song dies. I hate that it takes 2.5 minutes to get to the fucking drop. I hate everything about it. So I'm sorry, Christian.
He's consistent. It's okay.
It's a rare L between me and you, but this is just nah.
You are who you are.
Nah. Dies hard. All right, Trey.
All right. So I picked this song. It is called Alone Omen 3 by this very strange character named King Cruel. He's a British bloke. He's kind of gaining some popularity for sure. But he's had a bunch of different projects under different names. I listened to this album the other day. Not the whole album's pretty good, but this is like my favorite song on it. And it's kind of different. So I was wondering what you guys thought about it.
I feel like this is a song that when you go to an acquaintance's house, like a friend of a friend,
this doesn't start out good.
And you guys are hanging out. And you know what? You're smoking, you're drinking, you're having a good time. And at some point you look up, and it's 2 a.m., and you're way too high. And you're violently uncomfortable. This is the song that I hear playing in the background when that's happening. When you come to the realization, I should not be here, and I need to go home. This is the song that is sending me into that thought process. So I wanted to like it, but I don't. It's a dies.
Okay.
Christian.
Yeah, it was interesting. I need to dive into this guy a little bit more. I'm half in, half out on it. As far as like the sound and everything, I think it's really cool. It's really interesting. It's something that I like definitely would vibe with. His voice, I'm on the fence about. I can't tell if I love it or I should need to develop the ear for it or something. So because I'm half in and because I love you, Trey, and I was giving you a hard time about your creativity today, I'm going to give this a ride because you came through clutch. You gave some good names, and I was proud of you.
Thank you, man. That really means a lot to me. I think that thanks, brother. I love you too. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about his voice. I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not. And usually when I find someone and that's how it is, I end up liking it a lot.
That's what I was thinking too. Like over time, and if I go like deep into his stuff, like I'd be like, oh, this is pretty cool.
All right. Well, that was Rise or Dies. We will link the tracks down below for you to give a listen if the preview we just gave was not enough. And with that being said, oh man, it's time, and Trey has promised us a good one. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your hands together.
Welcome to a special video version of Trey's Terrible Twitter Takes. My name is Trey, and I will be your host today. Now listen, before we get started, I know I haven't been on my game the last couple weeks. No particular reason and no good excuse. Some of the jokes just didn't hit. Things I thought were funny, you didn't think were funny. So today I tried to find some things that you guys would think were funny. Up first, from the Twitter handle is documenting the capitalist zone era, a.k.a. at a leftist moniker. 4 years ago, I joined Twitter to get updates about minor league baseball, and now I'm a communist.
Very nice.
Thank you. All right, this one is from Step On You, a.k.a. at Haley's Comet 3. Haley's Comet is a fish song, so you might see where this is going. If you drank your friend's breast milk on Fish Lot, I just heard the story.
What's better than a nutritious meal before fish?
Exactly.
You got to get those vitamins up, dude. Especially vitamin D.
Yeah.
3-day run, you need it.
You gotta have it.
Exactly.
Honestly, though, like as an adult, have you ever been curious what titty milk tastes like out of the titty?
I've been very curious, actually.
I would have to admit a curiosity about that as well, yes.
Yeah.
Not that I would Trey just goes, all right. He was ready to roll into the next tweet and just end that conversation there.
I just kind of want to be past it. I don't want to even get into it. But yes, I would say the curiosity is there.
I think the hard thing to get past would be the nipple, because they get a little color. They get a little
I think there's a lot of hard things to get past. First off, all right, here we go. This was from Kendall, aka at Kenny_Rose, flight attendant: Sir, you are seated in an exit row. Are you willing and able to XYZ in case of emergency? The highest guy you have ever seen in your life. Yeah.
So accurate, dude.
Sir, I'm gonna need a verbal response. I'm gonna need a verbal response.
Internal
There's
panic.
always that person who's paying no attention.
Internal panic, dude. Oh man.
All right, Christian, this one's for you. I got a couple more. Listen, I got to make up for lost time here.
All right.
Let's roll.
This one's this is from at Kira Can't Miz, aka Kira with the asterisk. Imagine if men's foreskin just kept on growing and we had to trim it every couple of weeks.
like a fingernail?
Much like a fingernail.
Bro. Or you just don't.
You just let it ride. That would be such
that fucking.
That would be such a movement. Slinky. That would be such a movement. That slinky, too. Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, this one is from Representative Jim Jordan, a real representative.
Yeah.
At Jim Jordan, and this begins what I like to call the gas stove segment.
Oh,
Jim Jordan!
I forgot about this dumbass shit.
Jim Jordan says, "God, guns, gas stoves."
Okay, listen. Before, do you have a couple of these, or can I go on a rant real quick?
Go ahead and get the rant out of the way. I do have one more. At least.
I'm gonna fucking hijack this. All right, this is the fucking problem with Republicans is they take shit that is not supposed to be of any substance or relevance, and they turn it into a fucking culture war because they have nothing else going on in their pathetic fucking lives. That's all they have. Like, they want a great war so bad. They're like, my grandfather was in World War II. They don't have a real war. They don't have a spiritual war. All they have is this fucking bullshit. Like, they said gas stoves are bad for me. Now I leave it burning all the time. Like, that doesn't make you fucking cool, dude. Like, they have no substantiated argument for anything or solution to it. It's just, oh my fucking dude. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Trey.
Oh man, that tweet worked perfectly. All right. Following up to that tweet, this is from Vosh V. Incredibly thankful we formed a consensus on lead pipes, leaded gasoline, lead paint, asbestos, and basically every other health and safety standard we currently enjoy before conservatives discovered the culture war. Blake, do I know you or do I know you?
You fucking
nailed it, bro. You
nailed it. You let me go on the rant and everything first, man.
All right, this one's good. This one's even better. Hey, Libs. This is from Cody Johnston. He said, hey, Libs, I just turned on all of my gas stoves. 5 and didn't even light them. Hope you're not too triggered. Feeling really sleepy, so might take a quick nap. But just so we're clear, you'll have to pry them from my cold. And that's the end of the tweet.
Oh my god, it's so good.
That is the trilogy of the gas stove.
Very nice.
I got one more for you that we can move on home.
Hit me with it.
This is from @McGrupp. That's actually a guy I used to work with. Nice dude. I keep trying to like Metallica, but it just feels like music for cops.
It is.
It is.
Okay, real quick. I have a new favorite subreddit. It is called LinkedIn Lunatics, and it is people posting insane shit on LinkedIn. And
I'm following that right now.
Yes.
You don't have to say anything else.
This is from Mac Schlesinger. Okay, he posted this on LinkedIn Lunatic, or he posted this on LinkedIn. Somebody posted on LinkedIn Lunatics, and now he's being flamed on LinkedIn. His post was, while Russia is taking over Ukraine, we're taking over the Amazon event industry, pulling off the most exclusive Amazon event of the year next week. And then we get to work on the biggest event of the century in June, and so on and so on. Whoever can't handle it, take shelter.
I love it here.
What is his job title? What was his job title, rather?
Oh, it doesn't say. Fuck, I don't know. He's one of those guys that's like, he posted, they had another post on LinkedIn Lunatics, and it was another post from him, and it's like, he's holding his baby in front of an ultra-wide LG monitor that's like 100 inches wide, and it says, when it's 12 a.m. and your wife is sleeping but the baby is crying while you have some important work errands that still need to get done. Hashtag story of my life. Hashtag dadpreneur, which I guess is supposed to be entrepreneur, but it just sounds like dad manure. So I kind of watched that. So yeah, LinkedIn Lunatics, one of my new favorite subreddits.
I love this.
And last but not least, I have one more topic of discussion. Let's briefly touch on, since Trey is committed to going, how sick is this fucking Bonnaroo lineup? This
Dude,
shit
it's amazing.
Is so fucking good, and I just want to rattle off real quick.
Yeah, I gotta pull it up.
What a insane fucking night. Hang on, let me share the screen over here.
Are you getting tickets or something for the promo here, or what are we doing?
Yeah,
is that an option?
That is a good option, actually. Okay, Saturday night we have Tyler Childers, My Morning Jacket, my new favorite band, Korn, JID, STS9. Okay, all in one night, and you know it's going to go My Morning Jacket into JID into STS9. STS9 is going to have that 2 a.m. to 3:30 slot.
Oh, easily. And Remy Wolf. Remy Wolf will be a fire show too.
I don't know who Remy Wolf is, but
someone me and Christian both like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Think what day are you most excited for here?
I gotta say Saturday, Blake. I really do. Mainly it's the My Morning Jacket. I think it's gonna go the other way around with JID and My Morning Jacket. And I will skip Tyler Childers. Yeah, I think JID will be. I think they'll do My Morning Jacket in that weird time slot. First off, My Morning Jacket will play like a 4-hour set probably. They do like marathon sets, and they've done it at Bonnaroo before.
Yeah. Well, what I think is going to happen, because Denzel Curry on Saturday this past year had 1 to 2:30, or no, 1 to 2. So I think what's going to happen is My Morning Jacket 2 to 1:30, then JID 1 to 2. And then you can roll right from there to STS9. I think it'll be fucking perfect. But either way, it's going to be great.
Either way, it'll be great. Hey, you know what I did notice? Not to talk about, the negative on such a fantastic lineup, but no Super Jam.
No, it says it's coming later. Plus Super Jam Outer lineup to be announced.
I don't know how to read. That's the issue.
You don't know how to scroll down is what it is. You got tunnel vision and you saw Paramore and you're like, that's all I need to see. And then
she wasn't the first love of my life was Haley Williams.
Do you think Humphreys McGee's going to have a day set?
No, they'll play late night.
It's Sunday.
Oh, shit, you're right. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I think it'll be a day set. It'll be like a 5 to 6, I bet.
That'll suck.
Yeah, well, and I'll be exhausted by then, dude.
Let me tell you something. I saw Humphreys for New Year's, and that show was just absolutely incredible.
Wait, is that what you did for New Year's?
Yeah, in Atlanta. It was nuts.
Interesting.
It was so good.
Yeah, they're all right.
I see. That's how I used to feel, too. But then every time I go to a show, I walk away just kind of jaw dropped. I love Humphreys. I might go on Humphreys tour. I might come out to Red Rocks for Humphreys, which I've done before.
Yeah, I remember when you did that. Yeah, so it's gonna be like the face you just
there was an edge to that sentence.
You know why there was an edge to that sentence.
Yeah, we're not gonna discuss that live on the podcast.
Okay. Well, that's all I had. You guys got anything else?
No. Looking forward to Get Rich or Die Trying. Definitely gonna watch the movie at some point this week. Might watch it tonight.
That's a good idea. Yeah, Get Rich or Die Trying next week. I don't know how we're going to do this video thing. I don't know if we're going to use just clips. I don't know if we're going to upload the whole thing to YouTube. Did you make us a YouTube channel, Trey?
I'm in the process of doing so.
Okay. So we may upload the whole thing to YouTube, or I think I can upload video on Spotify, and you can still listen to the audio. I don't know how that works. So I will look into stuff.
You can, but...
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for sticking around, guys. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next week for some 50 Cent. And until then, follow the podcast, like it, rate it, share it, send it to your mom, send it to your grandmother, send it to your friends. And...
send it to your friend you know that works at Bonnaroo. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.